Welcome to the latest episode of the 15-minute chat series with local business owners, brought to you in partnership with with Business Central, which provides its members with professional business support services. Today I meet up with Rachel Cornwall of Populous People, which helps businesses find the right people as well as getting the best out of them and the team. Welcome, Rachel. Great to catch up with you.
Damon. Thank you.
And you're under a new name. You're under Populous People, something that's happened in COVID.
Yeah, kind of brought up under pressure. So you can work under pressure, but it's amazing what you can achieve in lockdown in 7 or 8 weeks. But I've got to say I'm pretty happy to be able to pop out today out of lockdown and get some decent Wi-Fi. I think you know what that looks and feels like. But yeah, it's been a really challenging, interesting, but really crystallising period for us. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Quite exciting.
Great. Yep. So what's the new offering?
Gee whiz, I thought we hit straight into that, did we? That we might come at that slowly. Aren't you meant to ask me who I'm missing the most of all?
No. I'll come to that next.
I can just give you a snapshot there. Look, previously I've just flicked off there, Damon. Can you see me there?
Yep. No, can see you.
Right, I've lost your video there. Previously, we've been Red Consulting Group Hawke's Bay Limited was a recruitment search company, but I had a desire to lift the offering and shift it, and so have established a new business model that's very much anchored in recruitment and executive search, but we're determined to help our clients really partner in their retention strategies and their refinement of their people structures, but more importantly, add into the longer game that desire to see sectors and our clients have talent for the future, because already we're seeing some big shortages playing out over the last recent years, and whilst there are going to be a lot of unemployed people in this current market, there's some major skill expertise in some of our very essential spaces at a time when we're so dependent on our people. I've lost my camera.
So it's not about. No, that's okay. So it's just not about the finding of the people. It's actually growing the capabilities within businesses as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a far more strategic offering, but with an absolute determination to help provincial New Zealand power up in terms of its people force. I've lived in Hawke's Bay for it's 18 years now, and the secret's out. But as business has grown, it becomes harder and harder to source the right expert people. So you can try and fish in the same pool, or you can do what we've decided to do, which is partner with our clients to really, really help grow these sectors. So it's working on some, not only just regional, but some national strategies as well.
So is it a long overdue sophistication of the sector you're in Hawke's Bay as a specialist sort of area?
I don't think it's Hawke's Bay, and I certainly don't think it's a reflection on the quality of those of us in this sector here at all. I think there's some great people doing what we do. I guess I've got a long-term commitment to people. This isn't just about recruitment. It's a determination to never be caught in the transactional space in my business. I don't want to ever be just finding people, walking away and hoping it works. Takes a commitment both ways to get this right, and we're ready to really wanting to step through into that extra space. So got some exciting work in lining up here, which is hopefully going to benefit not only this region, but Tairāwhiti down into the Wairarapa and further and well beyond, actually, maybe even down into Canterbury. Who knows?
Cool. Okay, great. So I'll now go back to the light-hearted question for you, Rach. What did you crave most?
Hey, there's nothing light-hearted about this question, Dana. I thought long and hard because you did prep me on that one, and I have to say, and this might sound a little bit odd, but I miss a man called Michael. And I think you might know that man, Michael. And he's the barista at Village Green on Donnelly Street in Havelock North. And it's a funny thing to say you miss a man called Michael, but what I miss most of all is that human connection that comes with the coffee in the morning when you start your day. And that sort of reflects further on what I've missed. And maybe it's Michael. It's not really just Michael. It sounds odd. It's the human connection that comes in your day-to-day context, because it's bloody hard to do that from your home office, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The second thing I really miss, I do have a life outside my business, and that's heavily involved in the hockey community. I'm a coach and a washed up player, but still enjoy the odd trot out there. Founded a hockey club a couple of seasons ago, and I miss what it would have been to be up and running and coaching a team and getting the youth engaged and our community engaged in that Havelock North Hockey Club. I really miss that. But there's one big third thing that I miss, and I really miss this, and I guess it talks to my roots, but I miss the rain. I could really do with some rain. COVID lockdown didn't induce that, but it's kind of like we were locked down and the sunshine came out and we couldn't go anywhere, and the poor old farmers are just aching. Just not fair. So yeah, miss the rain. Kind of broke that last night, didn't it? Hopefully, but not enough.
Hopefully, yeah. We've had a little bit of rain this week, so just let's hope that it continues and things start to green up and grow and stuff. Yeah, and what's been your routine? So your routine would have changed obviously a little bit more because you're also building building a new business as well. So which is super exciting. So yeah, it would have been a little bit more different than what had been planned.
Yeah, I mean, my routine's always, sort of hung on to the fact that I'm pretty early starter driven person, got lots to do in the day. That hasn't changed. It's just shifted. The routine shifted, the rituals moved a little bit because there were at points there where you had you may have had the certain stress that we all felt. What is this going to look like? What does it feel like? So the sleep patterns blew out a little bit there for a while as we all worried together collectively and individually in each household. But the rituals for me have lasted, really not changed much. To get up and get going, get focused in the morning, but the coffee's been made at home, and I've set up my own desk and I've and started there. But the rituals that really have become a big part. Can you still see me, Damon?
No, you've turned everything off now.
Am I back? I think I'm back.
You are about to come back, I think.
Yeah. So the ritual that's really been a big part of my sanity over the past 8 weeks has really been engaging with some of the people I consider to be a bit of a force field of information and strategy and energy. So that's become quite a ritual, but also the fact that I know that the power of that phone call to just check in on people. So I've made it a point to be doing that as frequently as I can with the people that I feel have needed a bit of a hand here and there. It kind of goes around both ways, hey?
Yeah. So, you mentioned before that there will be casualties following this. What can people do to prepare or look, they may not even be in that space of being made redundant now, but what can people do? Is it a matter of trying to prove their worth more in a business? Is it, it must be difficult times for a lot of people, the anxiousness around it.
Yeah, it's a really big question. Try and keep that short and sweet, but the man cannot beat the market at the moment, or the woman. So you have to play into that market. You've got to look at whether you're a company providing a service or manufacturing a product or delivering into a market. You don't expect to play it on your own. You've got to move to it and you've got to work with it. That's what we've done, almost unintentionally. My decision to set up a new business was born out of real decision in February this year. This is not a COVID decision, but inside this 8 weeks, even we've had to meet our market. But I would say to people as a candidate looking, the key there is to think about your transferability. If you have lost your role, think about what's going to enable you to transition. But have a hard think about what drives this economy here in Hawke's Bay, and don't be embarrassed about it. When I first moved here, we were the fruit bowl of New Zealand. Well, actually, stand up proud and be that, because we are. Yep. So then if you can adapt your offering, this country is born on the back of that too, but this region has some of the finest CFOs, IS managers, developers, sales and marketing people, and then all the layers underneath that in the primary industry. And if you're not in it, it's time to think about how you could perhaps segue into it. So you've got to then carve out your offering and make sure you're clear on that. But transition tough if you're in that hospitality and tourism and retail space, but it's the good old-fashioned skills that count, being articulate and clear about what you want and letting people know where you add value, because the CV of history, the back end of what you may have once done, or the company offering of maybe how you once did it, it's not the same anymore. Everything's going to be slightly different, but I'm optimistic that that's not a bad thing and we can get better because of it, actually.
In businesses, they've actually had to be more flexible with their teams over the last few weeks. Do you think a lot of them will, you're hearing that they will continue to do that? Do you think that is a reality, or do you think it's just the fact that it's been forced upon us, and we all just go back into our old ways of doing things anyway? Or, where do you see that?
Yeah, again, I think the market will dictate that, and the market will either enable or disable what we used to know. And I'll tell you what, anchored to that though, it's a pretty simplistic view I have, but biology will beat the economy. If we can contain this bug and eliminate it, and then find vaccines for later on. I don't want to get into all that epidemiology and all that, gee whiz.
Yeah.
If we can't contain it, yes, we're going to have to shift and work from home. That's absolutely definitely. But I'm kind of skewed because I like connecting with people. I like to feel people's energy in the room. Even I've found dealing with an incredible group of suppliers that I've been working with over the last 2 weeks, and that's what it's taken me to build a website, just 2 weeks. And a shout out to George and Matt Miller at Mobile. Honestly, don't need to go far. The local talent is huge here. But I think what we'll be missing is that people connection. So I think, yes, the work from home can continue, has to continue. Technology gets in the way. Wi-Fi is a pain at times for many people. But it's the future. We've just got to get that technology better. Mm.
Yep. Do you see a broadening of types of businesses that will come out of this and establish, or do you see, do you see that new businesses or new innovations, technologies and stuff will start to evolve within businesses going forward?
I think you get twofold. I think the larger businesses are already, if they had enough resource, have shown some nimbleness already. But I think, and don't underestimate the talent and the intelligence and the ability that's sitting in this region to pivot. And man, have we seen that. That's been exciting. So yes, you're going to see variance, totally. I think we will have to, and that will evolve. But Hawke's Bay is no different to the rest of the country. There's others doing it just as fast as some of the people that are here. But yeah, I think we'll see step change there. Well, we are seeing it.
But as you touched on before as well, we are the food bowl, and we should embrace that, and we should look at how we build upon that as a really good base.
Yeah, I say that jokingly. The fruit bowl, that's probably about 30 years ago, when we used to.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, I think it's become just as relevant or more important today, as we've seen from an essential services point of view. The types of businesses and what we've all needed is food and for me, beer and those sort of things.
You're raising a really good point, and I actually made a note of something when I was pulling a paper together for someone else yesterday. It's about redefining and revaluing what is essential now in this economy and what that looks like. So yeah, for sure, I think there's big changes coming, but I think anchored to the primary economy. I mean, you can see that's where populous people have felt. It's where I'm at home, it's where we're comfortable, it's where we add the most value. But those aren't just orchards. Those are value-add companies that layer into it. Those aren't just meat processing companies. Those are byproducts and remanufacturing entities. But then they are all the services that bolt on top of that. So, there are people that have commercial expertise that really plays into our primary industry. So we all bolt on to, I'm one of them. And there are many others. So yeah, I think so. I think we just stand tall and amongst it.
Yeah, I just think that there's been definitely a change within a lot of those traditional businesses, and they've become very smart and savvy in their own right. Some of those meat companies and fruit marketers and the like. They're global brands now, all the way from little old Hawke's Bay, and I think that's something that we need to latch on to, and perhaps that's where some of the collaboration can happen as well. To those that have done it and doing it successfully, maybe helping some of those others along that journey too.
Yeah, I think you're right onto it. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Hey, Rachel, it's been fantastic catching up with you today. Wish you all the best with Populous People. You are a real champion for the local business community and placing the best people and growing them and nurturing them through. So we look forward to seeing people growing, and businesses and them personally being incredibly successful going forward. So all the best.
Kind words. Thanks, Damon. Thank you very much. You take it easy.
Cheers.